side, what's up?
Yeah, y'all already know how we playing out this real life.
Real life.
Yeah, nigga, no Diddy gang, Meek Mill in real life. Don't ever disrespect me, you
Talk
heard?
that Meek. Yeah, Meek.
No f***ing way, Jimmy. Oh my god, bro. Are you f***ing kidding me? Come out here.
They just uncovered tunnels underneath his house.
Diddy's?
Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
Meek Mill, once rumored to be Diddy's close confidant, and maybe more, has just dropped a bombshell.
In an explosive turn of events, rapper Meek Mill has severed all ties with business mogul and music industry icon Diddy Combs, and he's not holding back in a series of social media posts, interviews, and behind-the-scenes revelations. Meek has exposed what he claims to be a hidden secret beneath Diddy's multi-million-dollar mansion, a secret that has the entire hip-hop world buzzing.
The tunnels from Diddy's house led to Hugh Hefner's house. That naked pool was down there long before Diddy was able to buy a home. It was Hugh Hefner's house where most of the offenses that the women accused Bill Cosby of took place. The Playboy Mansion. And everybody know Hugh Hefner was filming, had cameras in the wall. I don't know. Did anybody ever ask whether or not Bill Cosby had a freak-off tape? Next thing you know, his son is dying. Next thing you know, all kinds of weird things keep on happening. All of that fame, all of that success. If they really wanted to take him down with all of this, they should have did it in the late 80s or the early 90s.
Meek Mill and Diddy's friendship was once seen as a powerful alliance in the rap world. The two were close collaborators, with Meek being signed to Diddy's label Bad Boy Records for a period. They shared similar backgrounds, both having overcome significant hardships in their personal lives, and they appeared to be on the same page when it came to growing their respective empires.
And actually built tunnels that connected the Playboy Mansion to the homes of these movie stars back in the 70s. These were discovered recently in a vault at the Playboy Mansion. John, this is not a joke. These are real blueprints. If you zoom in on the blue, now, okay, what we have here is on one side of it, there's the Playboy Mansion. On the other side of it, there's Warren Beatty's house, and they've constructed a blueprint for a tunnel to connect the two of them. Now, Jack Nicholson was Warren Beatty's neighbor, so he had his own little offshoot, and James Caan, so this, he lived off in the other direction. The blueprints actually have their names on them. Northbound Tunnel to Mr. J. Nicholson residence.
Oh my gosh. Wow. So, I mean, was it like you move into the neighborhood and the homeowners association says like, hey, and by the way, we'll build you a tunnel directly to the Playboy Mansion?
Do you think, I mean, these guys were having the party of their lives. These tunnels, now, the reason that this was come across is that Playboy, the publishers of Playboy now, were researching an article about the 70th birthday, or an article about the history of Playboy and the history of Hugh Hefner, and they were going through old photos, and they found some photos of construction happening that were these tunnels, and they went to ask the current general manager of the Playboy Mansion, and this is what they said. Playboy.com published this. We asked the new general manager at the mansion about these photos. He said, very matter-of-factly, that's probably when they built the tunnels in the 70s. So they were like, what tunnels? What are you talking about, tunnels? There's these photos of the construction on these tunnels, and so they went to investigate further, and they found in a vault in the basement area of the Playboy Mansion a bunch of blueprints. And this is where they discovered the actual blueprints of these tunnels, which were built. And apparently the tunnels were active until the late 80s when Hefner got married. And then the wife was like, Jack's not coming over. They covered up the holes.
Only imagine what an active tunnel to the Playboy Mansion would look like.
And imagine what was going on in those times. Can you imagine?
So what happened? Did they close them down? Is that, were they sealed off?
They sealed them up. They covered them up in 1985.
However, in recent months, cracks began to appear in their relationship. In a series of cryptic messages posted on social media, Meek hinted at an ongoing rift with Diddy. Many fans initially speculated that the disagreements were professional possibly related to business dealings or music rights. But as time went on, it became clear that the conflict had a deeper, more personal root.
They found underground tunnels at Diddy's homes. This was first brought up by Shadow of Ezra, where he talked about the underground tunnels in Diddy's luxurious Los Angeles mansion. It was an underwater swimming tunnel leading to a mysterious grotto, reminiscent of an ancient and modern human use of caves. Now, this is all alleged, of course, but they say that this tunnel connects to the Playboy Mansion. You guys remember that? Hugh Hefner, the guy who lived with all those women in his mansion? There's no available evidence right now. However, reports are noting that Combs mansions do have a pool with an underwater swimming tunnel. They say it's not connected to the Playboy Mansion, but there is a reason why the Playboy Mansion keeps coming up. 10 years ago, they were building underground tunnels to the Playboy Mansion for people like Jack Nicholson for his birthday. So this way, they don't have to go through the outside, but go underground in secret to the Playboy Mansion to do God knows what. You can see the sketches here of these underground tunnels being built. They were working on it, and it was supposed to connect celebrities like Jack Nicholson, Warren Beatty, Michael Jackson, just to name a few. As reported by People magazine, these underground tunnels to the Playboy Mansion were sealed off in the 1980s. The question is, do you believe?
The biggest bombshell dropped by Meek Mill was his claim about a mysterious discovery under Diddy's mansion. In a now deleted Instagram post, Meek shared a photo of what appeared to be a large industrial-style underground chamber. The post was accompanied by a caption in which Meek made a series of wild accusations, suggesting that there was something nefarious being hidden in the space.
Oh, it definitely makes more sense to
Why
move.
is nobody talking about the fact that everyone's acting like the El Chapo tunnels just disappeared after he was arrested and they're not in use?
Yeah. It makes more sense to move to where the tunnels are than to build your own tunnels, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean?
Those tunnels under those houses in Beverly Hills have been there for decades, before Diddy was born. Now, in order to have an intricate system of tunnels like that working underneath the community, that would mean certain people could only know that they existed. That means you would have to lie or on the blueprints to your house for renovations. You couldn't be able to tell a real estate agents what's going on because they would have to disclose to whoever they're selling to, which means this is a very, very, very organized secret society.
Oh, understatement.
Like, it's not like the Beverly Hillbillies where Diddy just went and found a house in Beverly Hills and just, moved in and got lucky and found a trafficking tunnel. And then, oh my God, that's what's in the one. Like, no, that's not what that were. He bought that house because he knew the access that came along with it.
Of course.
Which means someone told him that that house had access that came along with it.
I would even go one step further. I would say all these properties are controlled by this cabal, and it was just Diddy's time to move into that. It was just his time to take the position up there, because for a fact this is prime. If you're a people smuggler, you want to be owning all the properties with the tunnels. Do you know what I'm saying? There ain't no, oh well, that was good for a while. I know we're the 1% and got all the billions. That slipped through our fingers. Do you see what I'm saying? So I'm fully on board with that, Jaguar, 100%.
Yeah, I'm surprised that OJ, if he did what he did over there, why he didn't jump in a tunnel? Why did he just ride away? You telling me he didn't know the people that know the tunnels?
Listen, OJ got not guilty. Nothing should surprise you about OJ. Okay, nothing.
You know what surprises me even more than that?
Yes.
That the actual convicted serial killer who was their grounds worker, who was working there and had a disgruntled exchange with Nicole and her boyfriend just days before that happened, was never questioned.
Yeah, okay. That's suspicious. I'm with you there.
Yeah, the guy that's always by the wood chipper. Like, I'm just like, if I'm a cop and I come into a brutal double homicide,
And I'm like, you know, going through a list of everyone that works in the house and comes through the house. I think one of the first people I would want to question would be the convicted serial killer.
Do you know how good you are at this stuff?
He's like policeman.
Yeah. Do you know how good you are at this, Jaguar? In less than 30 seconds, you've convinced me OJ didn't do it. Okay, I'm just saying that's how good you are at this. All right.
I'm just saying. I don't know.
I'm just saying.
That's kind of like how Me Too. They did that thorough investigation with all of those brilliant minds, and the only people they found were Harvey Weinstein and I'm sorry, they didn't find Diddy. Harvey Weinstein and R. Kelly, they missed Diddy. They missed everybody. Huh?
While the specifics of these claims remain unverified, the very suggestion that Diddy had the industry on edge, the fact that Meek Mill, an artist with a long history of activism and social justice work, would make such an accusation only adds weight to the potential validity of his statement.
Much of the darkness of it, and I'm just good for you for getting the. You know what I want to ask you about? Actually, I think Jeffrey would be a really good person to ask about this. We've been talking about it a bunch lately. Tunnels under Hollywood.
Okay.
Do you believe in them? Do you think they exist? Have you been to them?
They are real.
Really? I knew I would get.
I'm just pissed I'm not invited. Nobody's even thought to tell me about it.
Keep going.
Well, there's so many different tunnels because the old days, I mean, really, we built our city on top of a city that kind of already existed. So there's just a lot under there.
And do you think celebrities really use them? Do you think people really use them?
Yes.
And you think it's the 1%? Like, you think it's just like
It's definitely the 1%. And the problem is I've been invited to these scenarios, and I've felt like the sickest, most lead, cancerous feeling ever, and I've never gone down those routes.
So same with like Illuminati stuff. I'm sure you're gonna say the same thing. It's real. You've seen it, but you didn't want to take a part in it.
They tried to blackmail and coerce me over and over and over to do horrible things, and I'm just not a horrible person.
So you obviously believe all of this Diddy stuff is real and darker than it's even shown.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm glad people are finally seeing it. I think when they saw him viciously Cassie, it all made sense because all we do is know his music and he's great. And then I think when you actually see someone as a monster, it's like, holy f.
The implications of Meek's revelation are significant, not just for Diddy's reputation, but for the entire music industry. Diddy has long been a celebrated mogul known for his influence over artists, his ability to create opportunities for those in his inner circle. However, these new allegations raise questions his empire.
Let's take a trip to Los Angeles. This mansion is where Michael Jackson lived and passed away in 2009. Just a short distance away is the home of another music mogul, American rapper Sean Diddy Combs.
Don't worry if I write rhymes, I write.
And this is where our story begins. Diddy is currently in jail, facing serious charges related to trafficking and racketeering. Days after Diddy's arrest, a conspiracy theory has emerged online suggesting there is a secret underground tunnel at his mansion that connects to Michael Jackson's home. According to one version of the story, a neighbor sent an anonymous tip to federal officers about unusual activity at Diddy's house. When the agents arrived, Diddy's team reportedly prevented them from entering. Despite this, the agents decided to search Diddy's newly renovated bedroom. When they moved the bed, they allegedly found a tunnel hidden under a rug and discovered children's clothes inside the passage.
You're not going to believe this, but there is, in fact, a Diddy and Michael Jackson connection.
Social media users have since raised questions about Michael Jackson's death, with some calling for a reopening of his case and alleging Diddy's involvement. However, it's important to note that there is no evidence confirming the existence of this tunnel, and authorities have not verified these claims. The relationship between Sean Diddy Combs and Michael Jackson is not very well documented. They were seen together at the 2003 VMA party hosted by Diddy, but there's no indication of a close friendship. In fact, Diddy shared a funny story about Michael unexpectedly crashing that party while looking for Beyonce.
Mr. Michael Jackson is here to see you. I chit-chat, and so right there he has his arm, bring that up so they can see his arm around me, but then you don't see the shot of him whispering in my ear. Right after the shot was taken, he whispers in my ear, he says, "Where's Beyonce?" Really?
In a later interview, Diddy expressed his admiration for Michael and a desire to collaborate, but their schedules never matched. Now here's a surprising link between Sean Diddy Combs and Michael Jackson you must know. Fahim Muhammad, Diddy's head of security, used to work for Michael Jackson as his security chief. Notably, Muhammad was among the first to discover Jackson's body after his death. Before working for Diddy, Muhammad was Jackson's bodyguard and driver. Known as Mr. Fix-It, Muhammad now faces allegations of shielding Diddy from authorities in an ongoing lawsuit. Michael Jackson passed away in Los Angeles on 25th June 2009 at the age of 50. The cause of his death was officially ruled to be an overdose of the anesthetic propofol. His personal doctor, Dr. Conrad Murray, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter for administering the drug. Michael Jackson's life was filled with controversy. He faced allegations of child in 1993 and again in 2005. Although he was acquitted and the FBI found no evidence against him, these allegations continued to follow him throughout his life.
For many artists, the revelation that Diddy may have been hiding secrets beneath his mansion could be seen as a symbol of the darker side of the industry that is often hidden from the public eye. If Meek's claims are true, it suggests that the industry's power structures are not as glamorous as they might seem, and that behind-the-scenes artists and moguls alike may be playing dangerous games. Moreover, Meek's public break with Diddy could have lasting ramifications for both artists involved. For Meek, this marks a pivotal moment in his career. His decision to distance himself from such a high-profile figure may alienate some of his fans, but it could also cement his status as a more independent and outspoken figure within the hip-hop community. For Diddy, the fallout from these accusations could tarnish his legacy as a music mogul, particularly if further evidence emerges to support Meek's claims. Next Voik. The response to Meek Mill's explosive claims has been swift and varied. While some fans and industry insiders have supported Meek's decision, calling it a necessary step toward transparency and accountability, others have questioned his motivations. There are those who argue that Meek's accusations are more about personal vendettas than uncovering the truth, particularly given the history of tension between the two. Next Voik. On the other hand, many fellow artists and influencers have started to speak out about the larger issues that Meek's allegations bring to light. Discussions around artist exploitation, shady business practices, and the unequal power dynamics in the industry have gained traction, with Meek Mill's actions prompting a broader conversation about accountability in the music business. Next Voik. As the story continues to unfold, the relationship between Meek Mill and Diddy seems irreparable. Whether or not the accusations about Diddy's hidden vault beneath his mansion are true, the damage to their friendship and professional connection is undeniable. What's certain is that Meek Mill has set the stage for a larger conversation about power, control, and transparency in the entertainment industry, one that could lead to significant changes in how business is done in hip-hop. Next Voik. For now, fans and industry watchers